Sarkisian spoke today at the SEC spring meetings, and he spoke his truth. He said a whole lot. He said a whole lot. But let's jump into one of the main pieces I like that he said people are tuning into, and the way fans are, the way everybody looking at everything. Now, he could have really been just saying this about his team and how he don't want everybody to see it that way. But it is what it is in college football. It is what it is. It's either championship or bust. Now he spoke on that. He said it shouldn't be like that. He said fan base shouldn't be like that. No team should be operating in that. He said only one team gonna get it anyways. But that's where we at in college football. Like Texas right now is championship or bust. No way around it. You got Arch Manning, Cam Coleman, two NFL backs, NFL O line, NFL wide receivers, NFL defense. Yeah, it's championship or bust. Now, the SEC, they are in a tougher situation because they got the 9 games you got to play. Then, if you win the SEC championship, I mean, if you go to the SEC championship game, that's 10 games in the SEC. That's a lot. That's a lot, but that's what they wanted. That's what the conference wanted. That's what they got. Uh, it's big boy ball in the SEC, and I'm with him. It shouldn't be championship or bust, but it's 12 teams. People looking to take it to 24, but they want to keep it at 12. They might take it to 16 eventually. They probably gonna make it to 16, but 12 teams. You got to make that playoff. So he was right. It's like the SEC championship game. They don't even want to be in that game no more because it's like that game could hurt you in so many ways. Your players could get hurt. You could lose, get knocked out of the playoffs. So nobody wants to deal with that. So the SEC as a whole is a big time conference. Ye- Both teams, if you make it to the SEC championship, you should be able to be in the playoffs because that's a playoff game itself. The Big Ten game could be basically a playoff game itself in a sense, depending on who make it. Uh, so I get it. I get it. He addressed that championship or bust. That's where Texas stands right now. That's how they're gonna look at his job. Now he did say that, hey, uh, it was a coach that went to the playoffs or played in the national championship game or made a run for it, and the next year they let him go within 5 games. That's where we are at in college athletics in the football world. It's real out here. You gotta come with it week in and week out, year in and year out. You're at University of Texas. That's big boy ball. That is big boy ball. And this season, that is how everyone is looking at Texas. It's either championship or bust. Don't matter if you get there and lose, they gonna count it as a bust. Don't matter if you go undefeated and lose in that game only, they gonna count it as a bust. They just are. They just are. Now, Steve Sarkisian said some other stuff about University of Texas, and that I don't like. Cause I transferred, and you want all your credits to transfer, or you're not going to that school. So I don't, unless you know you're going to the NFL. Texas can give you the bag, but you got to know without a shadow of doubt if you finna lose all your credits. Will you try to do your time there and then transfer back and transfer their credits to your former university? Because they only taking 50% of your credits. No matter how many you got, Texas only taking 50%. That as a transfer, that's hard to transfer into that. It's hard to transfer to a university that if you're on your, say you're on your senior year and you want to get your degree from Texas, they say, no, you ain't gonna be able to get that from us. You only getting 50% of that. In that case, you just come play your ball and transfer back to your university and graduate. That's about how you gonna have to do that. Then Steve Sarkisian spoke on, hey, when a player do something wrong, Q, what's happening? When a player do something wrong, you shouldn't be able to get a judge to give you, if the NCAA denied, but the judge say, nah, we're going to give you an injunction and we'll handle this next year. You get to play. He say, nah, it shouldn't be like that. Now, to me, that was more so like he talking about Texas Tech. But again, that could have been talking about anybody in the country with these quarterbacks trying to get that extra year. And the NCAA might say no, but the judge might say yes, so they get to play, and then they'll come back and decide later. He's like, nah, 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 we can't do that. And then if you done something wrong, hey, you got, and we got all the facts. You need to handle that now. So, hey, he gonna have the state of Texas hot right now. Steve Sarkisian, because today they just denied Brendan Sorsby. So it almost seemed like that was to that, but it probably wasn't. It line up today as if it was. So it's like it's like back-to-back days or back-to-back weeks. He been throwing it at Texas Tech. Now that might not be the case, but it just feel like that's how they could be taken. I know Texas Tech gonna be like, hey, we finna come get y'all. We gonna some kind of way get y'all. We don't like that. But I get it, y'all. Steve Sarkisian got to make a case for his team. Texas got a big boy schedule. You got all the teams that you got to play in the SEC, plus you got Ohio State. You don't know how that game gonna go. It's in Austin. They should be able to pull this off. But boy, Q, yeah, hey, this thing getting real because he got to speak up for his team. You got to speak up now and speak up early. He has one of the toughest schedules in college football this year. I don't know if you get no tougher than that. I really don't think it's no team in the Big Ten that has a schedule tough as his. I just don't. Uh, his only competition with having a tough schedule is in the SEC. Everybody else outside of the SEC, I don't think their schedule's like that. Like Texas Tech. Texas Tech schedule is cupcake. I'm talking about cupcake compared to what Texas got to go through. Yeah, cute. That's it. We just got to, hey, we got to come with it every single game, period. You don't got no game. Well, you could say you could take out Texas State game, but Texas State trying to make a statement. So while Texas, in their mind, is getting prepared for Ohio State, Texas State is getting prepared for Texas because that's their Super Bowl. That is Texas State Super Bowl. So they're going to be all in on whipping Texas. Now, is Texas going to overlook Texas State? No. We should be able to crush Texas State, but they going to fight. They going to fight. Let me see who all on Texas State schedule, which probably ain't too many superstars. Like, the superstar is Texas. Let me see what Texas State got. Texas State schedule, which I don't think is. Yep, like I said, that's their biggest game. They have. Hold up. Hold on. They got Texas. They got North Texas. They got, yep, Oregon State, Fresno, Boise State. They play good schools for their conference, but as far as the state of Texas, the biggest game on their schedule is Texas. Texas Tech would love to knock Texas out. And they probably telling the players, hey, we could catch them slipping. We can't make no mistakes. This ain't a team you can make mistakes on. Catch them slipping, and we could get this W right there in Austin. We could get this W because they're going to be focused on Ohio State. Now, if I'm at Texas, yeah, I'm focused on Ohio State. I ain't thinking about no Texas State. We're going to crush them. But Texas State going to have to play a magnificent game. No turnovers, no false starts, and the ball got to bounce their way the whole game. But that ain't going to happen. But Texas State is gearing up all their attention for Texas. Texas learn about Ohio State. Now, Steve Sarkisian, he said a lot in the SEC spring meeting. He said a whole lot, but at the end of the day, he was speaking his truth. And I like what he was saying. I like what he was saying. It's just college football right now, it is what it is. It is what it is. Like you can't avoid it. This is big boy ball. You want to play in big boy games. That set your players up to go to the league. That set your team up for a good run. But now if you take an L, yeah, that could hurt you. But you playing in the SEC, you can make a comeback off that. Q, you say it's a get it back in the blood. Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, they need this win. They need this win bad. They need it bad. They got to have this win versus Ohio State big time. Everybody going to be watching. That's the biggest game of the weekend. Week 2, that's the biggest game of the weekend. And like Steve Sarkisian said, everybody looking at championship or bust. Yes, that game right here either gonna set you up or it's gonna hurt you. It's sad that we living like that. It's sad that it is that situation right now, but it is. When you play LSU, Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Florida, Texas A&M, yeah, you got to come with it. Tennessee, every game is a nail biter. Yep, Tennessee, yep. Every game is a nail biter. You got to come with it, or yes, your season could be jeopardized. Florida, yep. But good thing they play Florida at the crib. They play Florida at the crib. Florida, listen, Florida got a new head coach. He gonna be chomping at the bits. Basically, he the underdog in every game, so he gonna be trying to give it his all. Ooh. Yo, hey, next week is June the 1st. We right here, June, July, into August. When we get into August, it's pretty much game time. Because you're gonna have some games in August. Then you got September the 5th game against Texas Tech. And then you got Ohio State. But hey, I just wanted to come holler at y'all. Steve Sarkisian, he said it. That's how people look, the fan bases all going about a championship or bust. And that's clearly how we're looking at Texas this year. Championship or bust. Yeah, you can have a great season, but we gotta be in the chip. But hey, holla at y'all, holla at y'all, holla at